Ambulances have been used throughout the years. In the 1400s, they used horses and wagons. We found out that in September 1862, they would put 150 soldiers in one ambulance. In 1865, they replaced horses for an actual vehicle. They also had an idea to use hot air balloons in April 1870. In 1910, the first ambulance aircraft was used. In World War II, no training was required for ambulance personnel.
The rules and roles of EMT include the dress code, such as uniforms, and being educated. Training involves 200 to 400 hours. EMTs are certified according to their level of training. I must include that individual states set their own standards of certification. In this picture, you could see they must always have their equipment handy to react fast to an emergency.
Okay, the way that we're supposed to act in EMS, of course, would be a professional manner. We have to have, empathy and sympathy for our patients, and be courteous, of course. So this way we can try to give the best treatment as possible. It's not just about treating the patient's injuries or their illness. It's also about making them feel comfortable, making them understand that we're there to help. You have to also treat the person, not just what's wrong with them, but treat them also as a person. And sometimes these people may have problems like everybody else, emotional problems, stress and stuff. So we have to recognize that and learn to approach them to where we can make them feel comfortable.
Norms. Treat all patients with dignity and respect without respect to factors such as race, gender, or creed. Treat all co-workers and healthcare workers with dignity and respect as well. Advocate for the patient's best interest at all times, even off duty. Be proficient in reading, writing, and speaking the English language, and have no physical or mental impairment that would render them unable to perform all cognitive and psychomotor skills required for the level of certification.
Okay, inappropriate and appropriate behavior in EMS. Inappropriate behavior would be to act unprofessional, not to be a mature person, to belittle patients or make fun of them, to treat them like if they don't know any better, or to treat them like if they're, even if someone may be ignorant to a certain thing, you shouldn't treat them as they are ignorant. You should always try to inform them. So you wouldn't want to treat your patients that way or act in that manner. What would be appropriate behavior would be to always be professional, always be respectful of the patients and their feelings and everything else that might be going on with them at that time.
Status. The importance of EMT is to provide medical transportation to those in critical condition who may only have minutes to get to the hospital. So I believe EMTs play a very important role in people's lives.
The importance of EMS is that EMS provides a service to the public in the sense that when a person calls you, it's because they are in dire straits or they're in a critical moment in their life, whether it's an injury, whether it's a medical illness, or sometimes an emotional behavior. So it's important that we fulfill those needs to the public. And overall, being able to show that empathy and say, hey, it's going to be okay, we're here to help you, and show that interest that we're there to help is a big attribute.
The EMT can influence people to actually go to school and study hard to become an EMT, which is the number one thing students or people have to do. When the EMTs help people in some accidents, the people who see the accidents can learn the procedures in what the EMTs does in that moment of the accident and become handy in any accidents that come upon themselves.
Okay, let's see, how EMS influences people. Well, I would hope that we influence people in a positive way, to show them that there are individuals who care about other people, who are willing to go to school and be trained to be able to be available to help them in their time of need. So I hope that does give a positive influence to the community, to everybody. And I hope that by the way we conduct ourselves with them, that it also gives a positive influence overall.